So the pressure was high today, right?
It was high.
It was high?
It
Okay.
was high. Yeah, we had a
Terrible.
Yeah.
The guitar didn't want to participate in the video.
Yeah,
right?
that guitar was like, bro, you need to take me to the doctor, or
Yes,
else I'm not
okay.
going to do anything else for you.
Okay.
Yeah, so Ajax saved the day. He ran me back home. I grabbed my acoustic guitar.
Yeah.
And actually, it was maybe a blessing in disguise. Even though we could only do 3 songs, having the acoustic guitar, it changed the vibe. It was...
Well, I'm not used to listening to your songs, okay? But it was a great thing. And after you started to play with it, I listened and I found the high frequencies were very nice. I mean, the high part of the tone of the guitar was very, very nice. And later, it's only later I noticed it's a Taylor.
It's a Taylor.
So I was surprised by the quality, but then when I saw the brand name, I was not surprised anymore.
Yeah.
So it's a great guitar.
And it's a unique Taylor too, because it's a limited edition and it's made with maple and spruce.
Okay.
So the top of a guitar and acoustic is usually spruce. The back and sides are usually a dark wood, like Indian rosewood or mahogany or Brazilian rosewood, something like that. Yeah. Having that maple in the back and sides gives it a very bright tone, like a mandolin almost. And the year I bought it was the year of limited edition Taylors. There were so many limited editions, so it's not, probably that special, but I really like it. And I've had it for 20-something years now. I bought it in 2001, 2002, something like that.
Oh, that's a while ago.
Yeah.
So limited edition, what they do? What did they change? Is there something changed in the wood or the
wood? It's because they made it with maple. Because they usually
more expensive,
don't make
I suppose. More expensive.
I guess it was. Yeah. That was around. I think I bought it for around $2,000 US in 2002 or whatever. Okay, so I don't know what that would translate to.
7左右.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. But I mean, I don't know if, compared to 2025 prices, I don't know how much $2,000 US in 2002 would be now. I have no idea, but it wasn't cheap, but it's worth it, and I really enjoy it.
So that was the intro of the interview. The main subject is I want to talk about this thing because I do PA, I do recording, I work in audio for years and years, and this is one of the most different things I would say I saw since I started, and I think a lot of people don't know about it. So I just want to ask you to explain. I'll go by questions if you can explain by question. Sure. And John is not here because he had to leave.
Yeah.
But John uses a similar one, almost the same one.
Almost
right?
the same. So John has the first generation.
Okay.
And mine is the second generation.
Second generation.
And John is the one who inspired me, and he's the reason I bought this one.
Okay.
We've been jamming together with his looper only for ages.
Okay.
And then we kind of started thinking, man, if we had 2 loopers, that would be really nice. Because on one looper you can do 5 different channels.
Yeah.
Now we can do 10.
Yeah, that's true.
So I went ahead and bought it for that reason. Okay. But it's quite different than his. There's a lot more functionality. But it's he prefers his because he's used to it, which I totally understand. And for me, it's just taken a long time getting used to this one and all the different things that you have to adjust or that you can do with it. But I'm really happy with it and I like it.
Okay, because of the time, we want to we don't want to have the interview too long.
Sure,
and I don't want to go too much in details. I just want like say someone who doesn't know music, what can we tell them so they understand what's happening. So you have 5 channels.
5 channels.
So it means you can have 5 inputs, different inputs at the same time?
Nope. You can do, you could do 5 channels of 1 input if you wanted to.
Okay.
The 5 channels are your recording tracks.
So those are 5 tracks, like a multi-track recorder?
Like a multi-track recorder, live, real time. Yeah. In the back of the machine, you can put in this one, you can put in 2 microphones.
Yeah.
And you can put in between 2 to 4 instruments.
Okay.
If you do 2 instruments, you can have stereo.
Yeah.
If you do 4 instruments, one goes in the left here, one goes in the right here, one blah, 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 same, right?
Okay.
You have some outputs, you can put a pedal, you can put your phones, you can put a MIDI cable, etc.
Okay. My next question, let's say you connect all the inputs.
Yeah.
How many, without starting to make any loops, how many of those inputs can you send to the output at the same time?
Oh, all of them go at the, you have to send all of them to the output at the same time.
Okay. Yeah. So, but you can simultaneously, that's a tough word for me in English, you can send them, all of them at the same time to the output.
Yes. The only way to not do that is if you mute some of them.
Okay.
You can mute the input on some of them,
Okay,
which is really convenient. Yeah.
Okay, great. So then you can do live looping.
Yeah.
So you can use any of the inputs and send them to any of those tracks.
Yeah.
Okay.
So basically the way it works is you let's say John is making a beat. He's going to beatbox something and boom, boom, da, boom, boom, da. You hit the button at the beginning of the loop, and then you hit it again when you want it to start again. And that little phrase or that long phrase, whatever he does, it will just keep going, right? And then I'll put some keys in, and I'll hit the button, and then I'll hit it again. It'll keep looping. He'll do the bass, I'll do the guitars, and that's how we build.
That's why. Well, actually, that's all. Everything we heard in the video today was that. So those levels, so you can control the level each
level. You can overdub as well.
Okay.
So you can, as many things as you want to put on one.
So like we used to do, like bouncing, we used to do on analog tapes when we recorded. I mean, you track 2 and 3 can be bounced back above track 1.
On this one, you can do that.
You can do that. Then you have more tracks. You have more channels left.
Yeah. So you can. It's almost infinite what you can do on this.
Okay.
For example, you may have heard on some of the songs, I think Falling from the Sky, we had to actually switch the chord sequence partway through the song.
Okay.
Because we're doing this kind of like very monotonous, like we do, the loop is going on, and then we switch it to different chords and we sing something different. Yeah. We had to put all of that on one channel.
On one channel,
and then we had to switch everything else so that it gets a little complicated, but it enables you to do a whole show that way.
Okay.
It's really kind of fun.
Okay. And today we had I saw John making a loop with the bass.
Yeah.
With his voice, of course. But how much stuff did you already have prepared in the 2 machines before coming here today? I mean, you have stuff stored in there.
The only thing. I may be misspeaking. The only thing that I remember that we have stored in was, as I said, that second part for Falling from the Sky where we switched to the pre-chorus. Yeah. John may have had a kick drum already in for 1 or 2 of his beats. Okay. I think I remember he had a kick drum for one of the beats and he just started beatboxing with the snare.
Yeah.
But basically, everything was live.
Okay.
Except for, like I said, the pre-chorus of Falling from the Sky, because we just can't. We would be sitting there for 10 minutes making 2 different loop sections. It's just too much. We did that at home. We saved it. We recorded it in there. And like I said, I think he had one of the songs, he had a bass, a kick drum.
Already ready to use.
Yeah. But other than that, all the instrumentation, all the singing was done live.
Okay. Next question is about the computer you had.
Oh, yeah.
It was connected to your machine or his machine?
Neither. Okay. Well, sort of. It was connected to my machine.
Yeah.
And there's 2 ways you can do it. I use an old 2012 MacBook.
Okay.
If you have a better one, use a better one. But I went through a USB.
Yeah.
You can connect USB, and then it's just a direct connection with the instruments.
With the instrument, okay.
And I use Logic Pro for my instrument rack. That's all I'm using it for. So in Logic Pro, I have several channels open with a piano and organ.
So the computer was connected to this, and it was triggered by
a MIDI controller.
A little piano, a little
piano. And we could have used the bigger one. We could use anything that has a MIDI, like a USB connection cable. We could use.
So the sound was coming in this machine by audio. I mean by an audio cable, or it was coming in by the USB?
We often do use an audio cable just out from the audio out of the laptop, but last night and today we actually used a USB cable.
So it can go
straight in,
So it's like the Mac became like an interface or something like that.
Basically it does, yeah.
Or this was the interface.
And this becomes the interface.
And the logic was set to send the sound to this output.
So you can use this for recording multi-track on your DAW, but it's just the quality is not... I prefer to use a Scarlett or something for that, like the one that's made for that. This is better for live, I think.
Okay.
Also, importantly, John and I had connected our loopers with an old school MIDI cable. There's a MIDI in and out on the back of each looper. We went out from his into mine, so that since he's the rhythm guy, his was the master. And so mine would be controlled. Anytime he changed the settings, the tempo or anything on his
so
looper,
it's for synchronizing them together.
Yeah. Otherwise, it is so hard to get it exactly in sync, you know.
It's a nice thing you brought it up because I think it's important and I forgot to ask the question.
No worries. I knew it was in your mind.
Thank you a lot.
You're welcome.
Thank you very much for coming to the video.
And thank you guys very much for inviting us to your studio and having us come and perform. This is really great.
You should thank John because he's the one who contacted me.
Okay, I will.
In all those videos we did, it's the first time someone asked, hey, can we come and do one?
Oh, really?
So you cannot thank me. I mean, I thank you.
You're welcome.
Okay. So Ajax was helping with the video for the interview, and also we did the whole thing like usual.
Yeah.
And so you'll have to give me some maybe a couple of weeks to edit everything and prepare everything.
Cool.
And I'll probably make the interview available before the main video. So,
okay. So cool.
Okay. Thanks.
Sounds great. Thanks. All right.
Bye.